As someone that enjoys Sonic Forces, it's not easy to drum up an interesting conversation about the game without bringing up its many flaws and pitfalls, especially dealing with the character Infinite. His backstory is messy and has been the reason many people have seen his character poorly, but despite that, I still think he's an interesting character that got the short end of the stick, and he should make a return in the future, especially in a time where Sega and Sonic Team are not afraid to embrace their past. But if he is to return, I think there are two things that should be done. Number one is, don't retcon his backstory. Despite my shaky views on Frontiers' story and how the overall tone doesn't really work, one thing I will commend Sonic Team for is taking Tails' criticism from Forces head on. I may not like the way it was executed, but at least there was an attempt. And I think something similar can be done with Infinite. Instead of retconning his backstory, a future game or comic should dive into his past and show us his relationship with the Jackal Squad, and how becoming a mercenary changed him and made him value strength. Maybe his defeat at the hands of Shadow isn't the first time he felt powerless. Could he have survived a similar instance that psychologically damaged him? Who knows? There's a lot of open space that can be explored with this character, but I think something along this route would fill the space that Forces left for him. Number 2. Test the waters. If he does come back in a future game instead of a comic, I think it should be done the same way Mephiles was reintroduced in Shadow Generations. Have him return in an isolated boss fight with either Shadow or Sonic, and during the fight, Infinite can drop hints about the Jackal Squad and why they were important to him. This would especially hit hard if Shadow fights him, knowing how he basically hurt Infinite the same way Gun hurt him. This way, his origin and Forces will be recontextualized and his motivation will make more sense. Anyway, those are just my thoughts. Only time will tell if he makes his return in a future game or in IDW, but if Mephiles can come back, I bet Infinite has a chance too. And for those of you that have seen my Phantom Ruby and cyberspace theory, then you know that there's a possibility that the Phantom Ruby might be a fragment of the ancient cyberspace technology, and if the next game is a sequel to Frontiers, we might get more connections between the two artifacts. I just hope that Sega notices that some fans actually do care about this character and want to see him return with a more fleshed out backstory.